Right, we are 3 weeks out now from the toughest single day race I've ever done. Pika Montcalm, starting in the south of France, crossing over to Andorra Mountains. A lot of it at altitude, peaks over 3,000 metres. What else? 100 kilometres in distance, but 11,000 metres in climb. And since the last spoke to you, quite a lot has happened without a lot actually happening. So what I mean by that is training picked up quite well, and we went to the Pentland ultra marathon, 50 miles on the North Welsh coast. Lovely route, challenging in different ways because of the change in terrain and stuff. I did have a bit of a cold going into it, so I started pretty conservatively, just wanted a long training run, and yeah, it's quite obvious that I wasn't feeling too great from the start. Then I slipped over and cut my thumb pretty badly, not in terms of pain, well, it was quite painful, but nothing serious, but it was just bleeding a lot. So there was a lot of stopping and wrapping it, to the point where the great volunteers were following me down the lane with a van, wrapping it out the window while I ran very slowly. And yeah, at one point I think I was about 45 minutes behind the leader, which was fine, I was enjoying it, and then ended up catching third place, and then I caught second place about 2 miles from the finish. And then they said the leader was just 2 minutes in front, so yeah, that led to a bit of a push, but I couldn't catch him, and it was a great finish by him. You finish about a mile along the beach, which obviously isn't the best after 50 miles, and I could see him in the distance, but I could also see third behind me, so I think we were all pretty even paced by then. The reason why this update has taken so long is because quite quickly my health went a little bit downhill, because that cold turned out to be a chest infection. So when I finished, I just felt a little bit more fatigued than I should have, which sounds a bit ridiculous after 50 miles, but I've been racing for a couple of decades now, so I know what I should feel like, and yeah, I wasn't very well. That was a chest infection which lasted about a week, I guess, with obviously no training, just rest, and I did do the odd 30 minutes run when it started to clear, but I had antibiotics for that. As the antibiotics cleared, I went on holiday to Turkey for 10 days with the family, all inclusive, and yeah, not much rest, because we've got 2 kids aged 5 and 7, but yeah, 10 days of being in the pool in a heat wave in Turkey, which was hitting 40 degrees at lunchtime, up to 46 degrees some days, and I was getting out for runs, but they were lasting 45 minutes to an hour, and yeah, again, I didn't feel great off the back of that chest infection, but it was nice to be in the warm weather, if I'm honest, and kind of just rest my body as much as I could. And although I'd felt better after the chest infection, not 100%, I started to get out the door for training, hiking on this very hill, but my ear felt quite painful, and I was groggy again, and I thought it was a chest infection coming back, when in fact I now had an ear infection, which the doctor informed me was probably from being in the pool for 10 hours a day for 10 days, which, you know, maybe it's because my immune system was low. I'm not a doctor, but yeah, that bacteria has got into my ear, and you can maybe still hear it in my voice. Although I am training, I can only hike at the moment. Running is out the question. My balance isn't great. Equilibrium is all over the place. Well, it was a few days ago. Again, I've been back on antibiotics to clear this ear infection. He said, in her words, I've got a very angry eardrum, which feels like it. It's felt like I've been underwater since I got back from Turkey, if I'm honest. Lots of pressure in my head, And yeah, you might think, well, what are you doing out on the hill? All I'm doing is hiking up and down the same hill, which is a 20 to 30% gradient, which is what I'll be doing in Andorra. I'm just doing the best I can within the limitations of not having too much energy. It is coming back slowly, and what I'm doing is just doing my 1,000 meters of elevation on this hill, which is 5 reps, resting lots, keeping hydrated, doing my coaching work. And if you follow me on social media and Instagram, I am a bit quieter on there. So hopefully things continue to improve. Luckily for me, it's not a marathon in 3 weeks. I don't need to be fast. I just need my hiking legs to be back and my head to be clear. This weekend was meant to be the Lakeland 50 for me, and just run it with a couple of friends, maybe with Montcalm, but yeah, I'm not going to do that now. It's daft to even attempt it. I'd rather stay local and yeah, enjoy some good hiking if I can. Hopefully things continue to improve so that I can get to Andorra at least, and I'm sure they will. And I will keep you all updated as we go, because I know I keep saying that, but with the chest infection and the holiday, that was about 3 weeks out I've had, and yeah, you didn't want my snotty kind of coughing face on your screens. Even now I'm sure it doesn't sound great. I'm monotone at the best of times, but yeah, this is about to kick up to 35% now, so I'm going to leave it there, and I'll speak to you later in the week when things are a bit clearer, hopefully.